What's up, everybody, and welcome to a little weekday wagers with my guy, Robbie Hockey, here for me, just hanging out. Normally, it is a solo shot, but why not go ahead and start from the top with Robbie? One, forgot to push the button, but two, you know what? Robbie's here. Why not go ahead and bring him in? But we have a full list that we're going to look into today. We have some interesting news that we're going to get into. Robbie, I think we should go ahead and hit that off the top because I think it would make the most sense because there's no reason to kind of. I don't know what's word. I want to use a word, but I can't use that word. But anyway, first of all, how are you on a Tuesday?
Man, I'm great, especially when technology actually works. As you can tell, none of my headbuds are working, so I'm going old school today with the plug-in ones. But a fantastic day yesterday. I mean, it's one of those unreal days that it hits like everything you touch just hits. So I can't complain.
No doubt. Listen, I think we swept the board because we both hit our dingers, which was a plus 350 and a plus 450. We both hit our plus money plays with a plus 108, and I believe it was a plus 120. So all around, just a 4-0 plus what we had in the chat with the good people of the chat, like Kevin Walls, who can't chat today, but he's listening, which is great. That's all we want is to participate, but just kind of hang out, be a part of the crew, be a part of the family. And so that's what we have here today. But before we get to the game, we're going to have the game pop up here, but I want to bring some other interesting news to the attention of everybody. Yeah. And right here, after a big cash last night, it was $11 for 100K. I believe it was 6 different guys. Correct me if I'm wrong, Robbie, but do you know how many people it was to hit a home run that they cashed on?
I don't know how many, but I know It's a brand or a group that they actually publicly promote. I think I don't care to say it, the Go Boys, I think is their name. Right. I think DraftKings posts their plays and so does FanDuel. So, I mean, it's guys they promote that hit really big.
Yeah, and because of that, there's a lot of people that threw in a few dollars on it here and there because normally like these hit, 1 in a million. And I don't mean really a million, but 1 in every so many, like rarely do they hit. But eventually I think you will catch lightning in a bottle. And that's really why they made their name. And that doesn't mean that they're not good at it. It means they are good at it if they're getting that close and keeping that many people. But FanDuel this morning put out a new, I guess, part of their strategic, agreement, a lot of the details and behind the scenes. FanDuel Sportsbook reserves the right to avoid any or all bets made by any group or acting in conjunction with each other or any individual acting alone in an attempt to defraud FanDuel Sportsbook. What do you make of this?
I don't like it because, I mean, a lot of people hit yesterday. I wasn't the only one that hit big home runs. A lot of guys hit. You saw a lot of the same names, and it's just one of those days where all the reads were right and all the guys you bet on hit. Who's to say somebody randomly put that same parlay in? It's not out of the realm of possibility. They may not even know who those guys are, and they put it in, so they should be punished when they make the same bet without knowing it. I don't like this. I think, they don't mind taking money away from you. Right. When Halliburton got hurt, it's like, well, tough, he got hurt. You're right. That's sports betting. Tough, he got hurt. But in this aspect, you put the odds out there, you have the bets, we're able to place a bet on it, then we should be able to win the money off of it.
So what about a place like ESPN, right? What how like they have a few people in there make some different bets, and if everybody parlayed them together and they were, let's just say they're actually crazier than normal. They're not just straight bets, but they're like a home run bets. And they're like 4 or 5 guys. Like, we really like these guys that hit a home run, and everybody that watched ESPN put them all together. And then they would void all the bets because ESPN played that. It doesn't make sense. It's the dumbest thing. There was more information that came out. The maximum winnings limit will apply to any one customer or group of customers acting together, wagering on the same combination of selections, regardless of whether or not such bets are struck separately, blah, blah, blah. Pretty much what it's saying is you might actually have to split the winnings from everybody that put in that same exact combination of bets. whatever it might be. So the total payment of all those bets combined will be limited to one single maximum winning. Robbie, this is getting ridiculous at this point.
It is. And look, when I do stuff for JustTheStatSports.com, when it comes to home run guys, I'll post the best odds. If FanDuel has the best odds, I will continue to post that FanDuel has the best odds. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm pretty much done betting with those guys. You can't have your cake and eat it too, FanDuel. So I'm done. Sense. I won't discriminate as far as if they have the better odds. That's what I'll post, that you can get it at FanDuel. That doesn't mean I'm playing FanDuel.
Yeah. Well, so Robbie, 5 years from now, let's just say there's 50,000 people that follow on a consistent basis the Weekday Wager Show or Just the Stats Sports, and they see you post a play, and everybody somehow puts $1 on it because it's you have 5 to win $200,000, and then this happens 5 years from now. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree, and I don't know. I saw that today, and you see some people say, well, it's always been there. Yeah, well, they made a point to show you today that it's always there, because though they love taking money from people that play those SGPs, that those guys they promote, they don't expect those to hit. Well, it hit. Yeah. Tough crap on that one.
Right.
But even you had a good comparison. So like during the hockey playoffs, Biz, who's on the panel for NHL, he always posts these outlandish long shot odds. Well, who's to say all the NHL guys don't all play those odds? Dave Portnoy, he's always on there promoting DraftKings and his big bets that he's making.
Right.
Is he going to have to share his winnings as well? Like I think it's crap. I think they're crap, and I'm pretty much done with them.
All right. Well, so if you don't like this and if you want to take your money elsewhere, maybe that will make the change to where they don't put in any kind of little information, the details, the legal part, the legal talk that will change us. Anyway, that's enough of the Debbie Downer. But thank you all for hanging out with us. Kevin, like Mike is over here. He's on a plane watching, showing true dedication. Shout out to Mikey P. Let's go to that Red Sox game. Speaking of Mikey P, we have Garrett Crochet on the mound. Anything you like with Garrett Crochet there taking on the the Los Angeles Angels? God, I'm old.
I say, man, anytime Crochet's pitching, I stay away from those batters. Last night was a good night to back Angels. Tonight, probably not so much, but Tyler Anderson does have a pretty good split if you're into some Boston batters. A guy I like a lot tonight is Rob Refsnyder for Boston. He's batting fourth, which is one of Anderson's weak spots. He's allowed 4 home runs, 3 doubles, 1 triple, and 15 RBIs. So I took Rob Refsnyder to get 2+ hits, runs, and RBIs at plus 100 today at Just the Stat Sports.
Yeah, and normally I'm guessing he leads off. That's what we have projected here, courtesy of our friends over at Doink. They have him leading off. Is that what he normally is?
Normally, sometimes it switches up. I've got him, which is not confirmed. It's showing fourth, but he does bat first. Even the first spot for Anderson's good. He's allowed 3 home runs in that spot, so even leading off is not a bad look for Rob as well.
Look at these stats, though. You have 8 appearances. Rob is hitting 500.
Yeah.
And then, Gonzalez 500, Navarez got to be, whatever. 500, Jaron Duran, Story. There's a lot of guys that are hitting at a good amount, but you can look at these guys and target them a certain way. And that's why we want to continue to make everybody a little bit smarter and show you how to dig into these numbers and how to really play them, because you can target games like this and a Red Sox, Angels game. It could be a chance to take advantage of some of these guys and who you're looking at just overall. There's other games we're looking at. If you have any games that you want us to dig into, I made sure I left room to be able to go and pull clips instead of yesterday where I had the maximum amount of graphics on the screen. I couldn't do any more, so it kept shutting me down. But anyway, that's kind of what we're looking at today. A guy that I do like, you're targeting is Tyler Anderson. It doesn't show up here on the screen, but if you look at it, his walk percentage there, versus right-handed hitters. Look down there. If you want to target right-handed hitters, 23 walks just to right-handed hitters. He's very different to right-handed hitters than left-handed hitters, but still 8 for every 105. He's walking a lot of people. I think Tyler Anderson will continue to walk a lot of people as he always does. So anything else in this game you like?
Yeah, so I'm on Doink where we pull a lot of this stuff. They're showing Kikuchi is now expected. So
Okay.
I'm not sure, which it hasn't. It's been Anderson all morning, but now that I just pulled it up on there, it's showing Kikuchi. So that might be something to look at because that will change quite a bit if Kikuchi's pitching.
So let me see something because I think you might have scrolled down too far because I did this the other day. So live, you did tomorrow
I
at
did tomorrow.
3:07. Yep.
Yeah, never mind. I'm an
Hey,
idiot.
speaking of that, right-handed hitters versus Kikuchi, 38 walks and 300 at bats. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, those dudes walk a lot of people. If you want to look at tomorrow, listen, I
Yeah.
don't know if I'm on the show tomorrow. I think we're gonna have to try to get Mark back here from his visit to the Neverlands out there in Nevada, but I think we're gonna try to have him back. I'm not sure if I'll be on the show or if Robbie will be on the show, but either way, that is some guy Kikuchi I would watch.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and go to our plays because we do have a lot more that we want to get into, especially giving our plays overall. Hold on, before we get there, I did have something else. Let's look at this.
Oh, yeah, the
So
weather.
I have the weather. This is from Kevin Roth. And so if you want to follow Kevin Roth, just Google Kevin Roth weather. But I think it's like Kevin Roth WX or whatever it is, his Twitter is. But look at these games. And I made it really big so everybody could see it a little bit better. But Texas, Baltimore, 100 degrees, 0 wind, right? Gross. The wind I don't love, but the ball should be very humid there. Good for hitting. I'm gonna go to another green one. Atlanta, New York Mets. It's gonna be in the 90s. It's gonna be hot and humid. I have a play on that game here in a little bit. But look at these other ones and how to read it is yellow to green means he thinks that the game will play. Okay.
Right.
So anytime you see green, it means that he thinks that the game should play. But like, Toronto against Cleveland, few showers popping up, right? It could look like it's a delay here and there. It could be a brief downpour. You got to be careful. But that they're green to yellow, you got to be very careful because you never know if they're actually going to have completely shut the game down. But anything that sticks out to you on this, Robbie, that you're looking at?
Yeah, so the Texas Baltimore, it's 100 degrees there, but when I was looking at it earlier, it's pretty decent pitching matchup, I believe, in that game. So it's not one it could have home runs, but you also got to factor in who's pitching and how much they allow as well. The other one I was looking at, I think it was on here. Yeah, Tampa Bay and Kansas City is one that I was looking at. There's a few guys in that game I like. Problem with that game is normally you can get hits, runs, and RBIs at 2+ hits, runs, and RBIs.
Right.
That game, everybody that can is juice. Like Yandy Diaz is at 3, Bobby Witt's at 3, and that's just because how well Bobby Witt plays against Tampa Bay. If you pull him up, it's all green, nothing but green for Bobby.
Yeah, so you can look at it. Very good play. This just doesn't tell you if I'm going to go Chicago, St. Louis that it says green that I'm going to target it, or the Braves, Mets. Just because it's in the 90s and it's humid doesn't mean that you're going to target. You can look at the pitching matchups. For example, you have Strider going against Morales. Is that his name? No, Montas. Not Morales.
Yeah,
Montas, Frankie Montas. And so that might be a game that you play into the weather, but you also disregard if you like the matchups where it should keep the number down. Either way, this is something to watch. Go ahead and I think it's a Roto Grinders weather. Is that correct?
It is. Or like you said, if you just go to X and put in the search bar Kevin Roth, it'll be there.
I'm gonna go pull up Kevin Roth stuff right now because one, I just did it not too long ago. But Kevin Roth right now, because I know I follow him. All right, at Kevin Roth, ROTHWX. Very simple. Okay, so I want to give a shout out to him because this is good information. I look at it every single day. All right, now let's go ahead and get to your play. Your first one's a hit parlay. What you got?
Yeah, going back to another hit parlay, we got Josh Smith and Riley Green 1+ hit at +100. Look, Josh Smith has a hit in 14 of his last 15 games. He's hit the hits, runs, and RBIs prop in 10 straight. You get that lefty versus righty matchup. He's 2 for 6 with 1 RBI versus Charlie Morton. Morton is averaging 6 hits in his last 10 games. Riley Green has 14 hits in his last 9 games. 0 for 3 versus Severino, but that's too small of a sample size for it to really matter that much. But Riley has a batting average of .322 versus right-handed pitchers with 16 home runs this season, and Severino is averaging 6.8 hits in his last 10 games. So 2 hit-friendly pitchers. I like both these guys today. They have a good last 10 games, and the head-to-heads kind of shaky, but like I said, 0 for 3 ain't going to bother me that much.
Yeah, like both of those guys, especially plus money.
Yeah,
never mad about that. It's when I see those -125 or putting two guys together, I'm like, man, it makes sense. It's the right play, but it hurts so bad to see like a minus 125 with 2 guys to get a hit. Any parlay minus makes me feel weird.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go to my play real quick. And we're going to go to that game that I just talked about. It's in the 90s and it's humid. It's Atlanta versus New York Mets. I'm going to go under the 9. So it's a steady 9. It's everywhere on every book. It's not 9.5. It's not 8.5. It's literally stuck at 9. And you can go minus 105 on the over, or you can go minus 115 on the under. I would never, ever go over a solid 9 or any number, because you can go to the 9.5, because that's pretty much what I would probably go ahead and completely grab the win. I don't look for a push if I'm going under. I'm sorry, if I'm going over. On the under, I'll take the push all day long. But Atlanta's under or they pushed in 7 of the last 7 games. The Mets, they've went under or pushed in 5 of the last 7 games. The Mets are 1-9 in the last 10, just overall on the money line. And so if you look at maybe fading them, going up against Spencer Strider, Frankie Montas making his first start of the season, I think Frankie Montas is a good pitcher. That's why I think even in his first outing in the first game of the year for him, I'm going to go ahead and target them to go under, because even if Montas struggles and the Braves go off a little bit, I think the Mets bullpen can hold them just kind of steady enough, because the Braves aren't hitting the ball really well right now. I think that they can easily go under that.
Yeah, don't the Braves, they have the Mets number too. Even when the Braves are bad, they always seem to have the Mets number.
Yeah, they're 4-0 in the season against them so far, and so I expect that to the trend to continue. All right, let's go to our Daily Dinger, because that's what everybody's here for as we finish up the show. We have Ohtani, Judge, Cal Raleigh, Max Muncy, Kyle Schwarber. All right, where are you going at today?
Man, I'm going off the board yet
Yes.
again. I'm going to go PCA, Pete Crow Armstrong at plus 400. He has 4 home runs in his last 10 games. Michael McCreevy has only pitched in 16 innings this season. He's allowed 12 hits, 1 home run in that range, but his pitch mix is very heavy on the fastball, cutter, and slider. PCA has 11 home runs total against those 3 pitch mix. I love PCA today.
All right, well, let's go ahead and keep riding it, and we're going to do the same thing again as we did yesterday, because it worked. So you give me who you think. It could be on the board, off the board, anybody that comes to mind first of all, and I'll look.
Give me Riley Green.
All right, Riley Green. Mr. Magic 8-Ball says signs point to yes. I got the same thing yesterday, so I feel good. All right, do you know what Riley Green is?
I feel like it was plus 375. I can tell you in like 3 seconds. It is Riley Green. Oh, I got it at plus 525 at BetMGM this morning. But those odds, I think, have started going down since this morning.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, I'm down with anything at all. I'm going to look up what a live number might be. You said Riley Green. So on a Riley Green home run, it's plus 500 right now on MGM. And
maybe it was DraftKings. I saw it was way lower on DraftKings, but MGM had a great number on him.
Okay. Well, that's what we'll do. Plus 500 on Riley Green. And you are PCA. What was his odds?
Plus 400 is what I got it at MGM this morning.
Listen, if we do this again, the 8-Ball stays forever. Either way, I'm probably going to keep using the 8-Ball because it did me well. I haven't hit one the entire year of us doing these shows, and I finally hit one. So we'll kind of stick with it.
James Wood, man, he clutched up for everybody last night.
$100K for that guy off $11. And I saw multiple people put like a free bet on there, which the free bet they could be a little weird on.
Yep.
And so I'm curious about the free bet, the bonus bets. But if you put in real money, no matter what you put up, your investment is really nice. All right. Last final thoughts before we get out of here.
Yeah, final thoughts is tonight. It's kind of a slow night's Tuesday, but it's Dinger Tuesday. But we have a lot of good pitching matchups. I would look at the Dodgers and Rockies, though the Dodgers have mashed the Rockies the last few games. Look at Ohtani, look at Freddie Freeman. Freddie is one that I'm looking at tonight to get off the schneid. I think he's going to have a good night. But Ohtani's numbers around that plus 165, plus 175 for a home run. You're better off playing it because his total bases is at 2.5. I would rather get plus odds for a home run if you're going to tell or do Ohtani tonight. I
agree. All right. Well, we're going to be done with the show here today. I think Mark will be back tomorrow, and we'll figure out who joins him, whether me and Robbie might do rock, paper, scissors to see who has to be on the show with Mark. But we'll see everybody tomorrow right here at Weekday Wagers.